What's going on, everybody? Hey, it's good to be back. It's been a while. Haven't seen you all in a few days. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas. I know I did, but it also was much, much busier than I had anticipated this year. So, hey, we're back, though. We're going to start getting back at it this week. Today will be my first video back, and then also just been taking a lot of time thinking about the new year. So we're going to talk about all that today, and we especially are going to talk about this silver squeeze, what I think it's signaling, what could be lying ahead for us. I'll do more of this heading into the new year, predictions for 2026, what I'm seeing, and reevaluating 2025, stuff like that. But it's good to be back. I've missed you guys, and it's thankfully the news hasn't been too crazy. There's several stories I want to catch up on, but hope you're well. Before we get started, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're on X, if you don't mind hitting that repost as well, I'd appreciate it. Let's say hey to people in the chat. Let me know how you guys' Christmas was. Let me know how much silver you own and how rich you are now. If you've been fortunate enough to be in since the beginning. Oh my God, it's been crazy. So what's up, Toe Cramp, numero uno today? What's up, buddy? Vince is here. Steve Bernard, what's up, guys? I know I kind of blindsided you all by jumping on so quickly out of nowhere, but you know, that's just where I'm at right now. That's how life goes. Holiday season and all that. I'm just glad I could get back on since it's been a while. Forgive the background. My kids are running around. The dogs might get loud, but I'm going to do my best to stay focused and give you guys a good show here. That's how life goes. Sorry, just a second. I'm posting something getting the link out. Anyways, but I'm going to do my best to stay focused. What's up, Zach? He's got some silver. Yeah, look at it. Okay, so let's get right into it. Silver on the APMEX is $80. It's wild. Absolutely wild. Just a couple weeks ago, we were crossing the 40s and 50s. And this is a big flipping deal, a BFD. If you haven't been paying attention, silver kind of impacts everything. It's one of the most important metals in the world. It's used in all kinds of stuff now. We have Elon tweeting about it, worried about this, about the prices, but this is also impacting the markets substantially. It's starting to impact banks. I'm going to show you guys some of that soon, but as many of you have known for a long time, I've been saying that while gold is more valuable per ounce, when the shift came, silver was going to go up more percentage wise. And the reason is the paper in silver is way diluted the value of silver versus the actual amount of physical. So they've way oversold silver over the years. And so when the reckoning came, it was going to be massive. And we're starting to see that at least partly that reckoning. So again, congrats to everybody who jumped in. But this, guys, I think is going to be the beginning of a shift in the markets. And I would not be surprised if this is the beginning of the market cleanup, because this could have the potential, if this keeps going, of crashing the markets, which would lead to what I've been saying could happen for a while now. Is the crashing of the markets would be the opportunity to fix the markets that Trump could use, the administration could use, while also keeping Main Street alive. And that the impact of the tariffs, the impact of the remanufacturing, the deregulations, the tax cuts, all that can help Main Street survive a market turn down, and then also flip around the markets fairly quickly if they do have a crash or a collapse. And in time for the midterms, we could be economic booming So this is the sign to me that this 2026 is going to be the year of the economy. This is the year things are shifting. We're starting to head into the new. Trump's been dealing with the old. We've been cleaning up the mess of the past. That's what 2025 was all about and continues to be about. It's not over, but everything is in place now to also start moving forward. Tomperkin says, I'm going to play it extra bull in the markets during January, be on a long losing streak. Well, it could be some special coming here soon. Alice, happy Sunday to you. What's up, Henry? Good to see you, man. David, I'm sorry I'm interrupting the Pats. I know I jumped on just as football starting, but, I'll be off by around 2, which is plenty of time for everybody to watch lots of football today. And Vince, you and I got a big game tonight, man. Niners Bears. Woo! It's gonna be interesting because we don't have Kittle, so we're not at full strength, but hopefully we can still pull it out. But that it's battling for the 1 seed right now. But what's up, damn it, Sean? Good to see you, man. Toe Cramp says, I want to cry. I had around 200 ounces of silver at 22 and had to sell it gradually to survive. Many of us are in that position where our assets have depreciated so much over the years in order to survive. But guess what? God's good, and there's always options and opportunities to grow your money again. So don't cry, Toe. Instead, buckle up, get ready, because if we focus, I believe the next couple of years, we can have massive growth to our own portfolios, our wallets, our incomes. I think what Trump is doing, and this is part of the reset. Okay, silver being reevaluated like this and squeezing like this, it is a sign. I mean, it's tied to everything. So this happens, and what Trump's putting into place, we've already seen that the inflation is way lower than expected with tariffs. The GDP numbers are way up. It's all working. And we barely begun to see the beginning of his economic policies. So, guys, this has to happen. There's going to be shakings. There's going to be tough things to navigate. But ultimately, we're all going to have chance to do much, much better moving forward. So, Moody, what's up? Old man, what's going on? The one, what to do, brother? It's good to see you guys. I when I take a long break like I just did, it's been almost a week since I've been on, and before that I hadn't done too much videos in the last 2 weeks. You just never know who's going to come back. It's always a little scary jumping back on, but good to see you guys, and glad you're all back. The same good peeps, always here for the last 3 years, which I did. I just passed my 3-year anniversary doing this show. So thank you guys to all who supported the channel and got me to this point. Mark Lynch, what's up, brother? Shanghai silver spot price now over 90. Dubai is up as well. Gap up incoming tonight. Oh man. Well, what does that tell you, Mark? It tells you that with the Santa rally over, we have 3 days till the end of the year, where they're trying to keep the markets up for all their bonuses, all their end of year stuff. And then if it keeps moving up like that, the setup is that they could absolutely let the markets tank starting Jan 2nd when the markets reopen after New Year's Day. So yeah, buckle up. One way or the other, I think we're in for a wild ride. I don't know what it's going to look like, but this is definitely setting up to have major impacts. I mean, look at some of the stuff that's already been going on right now. China has reported that they might restrict their exports of silver. So this is going to have a major effect on the price as well. But Elon's freaking out, says this is not good. Silver's needed in industrial processes, which is going to raise tech prices. We're going to see a lot of freaking out over this. Let me just keep it that way. They have artificially kept the price of silver low for a very long time by trading all this extra paper. So we cannot ignore the market disruption of all this. And what has been keeping the stock market up? Well, it's been all the tech industries, AI, Microsoft, Google. That's the Mag 7. It's all tech. And that has been what has been keeping this up Well, this is a direct assault on the tech industry if this keeps going. So, well, there they are. There they are. The dogs, man. I had a feeling they'd jump in at some point. This is what happens when I do my lives during the daytime. But, we'll get through it, folks. We'll get through it. But anyway, so Musk is panicking. Tesla, EV, SpaceX rockets, solar city panels depend on massive amounts of silver. It's the best conductor, no real substitute. Physics doesn't compromise. He's worried about availability, not just price. Export restrictions start January the 1st. That, again, could be a catalyst for tanking the markets unless Trump's able to pull some off like he did in early November when China announced that that tax they were going to put on all their exports, and Trump got it repealed. So this could just be a setup for another trade deal type scenario, or they let it ride. We're going to see how this goes, but supply chains are already breaking. 2025 deficit, 230 million ounces. COMEX inventories are down. Do you guys remember when the COMEX just stopped, just shut down after Thanksgiving? Yeah, kind of a warning sign there as well, right? So get ready for the silver issues. Here we go. Silver trade, large bullion banks, short silver position about to be liquidated. A $429 million call option placed on silver moments before Friday's close. We have a lot of bank issues, 17 non-U.S. banks, net short 43,084 COMEX silver contracts, which is 215 million ounces prior to the move higher. Shanghai on Christmas Day. What a Christmas present, right? It's funny how these things kind of happen in seasonal timings. It's always weird. Late Friday afternoon, rumors began swirling through the market. A large bullion bank was unable to meet a massive margin call received or negative. This, first of all, we've seen this a few times in the last few years, right? With banks facing issues, and then not too much happened other than those bank failures in early 2023. But I gotta say, this has some feel of the Lehman Brothers setup. It's obviously not the same. There's going to be differences. This will play out different than 2008, but it's hard to ignore some of the similarities, the warnings we're starting to see here as well. So legacy silver short position could be liquidated the moment silver futures resume trading Sunday night. So this is what we're looking for. Liquidating its massive naked short silver position would cause the mother of all short squeezes. We have the banks already facing issues for this. The banks tapped the Fed the other day for $17 billion because of the silver shorts imploding. Well, everyone watched silver rip to 79, now over 90 in some places. Real smoking gun hit the plumbing, 17 billion tap from the New York Fed repo window Friday after Christmas. Emergency cash grab that screams margin stress and liquidity panic. Guys, we've had a liquidity issue for a long time now as well. I mean, how long have I been reporting on this liquidity issues? This could be the final nail in the coffin. We've seen a lot of interesting stuff going on in the markets the past few months. It's kind of a miracle they've been able to keep them up, as BAM has kept saying, like the games they're playing to keep the markets up. We've seen Bitcoin tank, which many believe was a sign of liquidity drying up, and they were selling their Bitcoin for liquidity injections. So again, just we might be watching the beginning of this. Am I getting ads again? Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why I'm getting those mid ads during my lives. It didn't used to happen, so there must have been a change on YouTube. I will see if I can get rid of those moving forward. But what's up, US1? Linda Telly, good to see you. Hope you had a Merry Christmas as well. So add the record COMEX delivery demand with 63 million ounces. You got the setup, paper shorts running out of ammo, physical buyers take them out. You know, the silver squeeze, if it squeezes and it crashes the markets, we're going to see a domino effect. So just be ready. Prepare yourselves. In some of the areas you've maybe been waiting for, we might finally see movement. Hopefully my kids fix those dogs soon. It looks like they're getting to them. But again, 2026, the year of the economy. we have been saying, and I've been saying, talking to people like Bam, Pedro, that coming into the new year, actually going back to October with the government shutdown, started putting major stress on the markets. They survived that, but it started making sense that there's two things going on here. There's a globalist attack that wants to destroy Trump's economy. So they are not helping him in any way, shape, or form. They're going to try to break his economy. That's a given. They want to win the midterms, and I might have to go here in a second if that doesn't stop, guys. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that, guys. My dogs were starting to get into a fight, so had to separate them. Okay. So where was I? I'm sorry, a little short on breath here. Vince asks, am I hearing anything about bank failures? Not yet. So here's the deal, though. When, sorry, guys, have you ever broken up a dog fight? It's not fun, but I don't worry about the dogs. They're fine. But them being around my kids, that's what I get worried about. But anyways, broke it up. As far as bank failures go, Vince, when banks start tapping the Fed for emergency liquidity injection, bank failures are usually not far off. Now, the Fed is going to keep injecting it as much as possible for a while. They will use what they have. The question is whether or not Congress pushes the president to print. I don't think Trump wants to push a lot of money out of the Treasury and reprint money. Remember, the Fed can work with what it's got as far as its assets it's accrued and all that to move money back and forth. But the Fed can't actually print new currency into the system. That has to be something that the Congress approves. So we're going to see how far this goes, how far bailouts go, so on and so forth. If Trump does bailouts, I have a feeling it's going to look different than it has in the past. In the past, they just straight gave some of these companies money. Now, some of the programs, they printed the money. They set up the banks to avoid failure, but then they actually made money on the back end. So if you look back at, say, like TARP that passed under President Bush during the 2008 financial crisis, the government actually made money on that long term. So in a way, it was similar to like when we gave Argentina $20 billion this last year and a currency exchange which balanced Argentina, but made our government 20% more money after Milei was reelected. So I don't know what it's going to look like, but I have a feeling, and I've felt this for a while. You know, Trump's no fan of Wall Street. He's no fan of obviously globalist bankers. He's been choking off Europe. He's been making these trade deals with all these countries that is not favorable to them. It's favorable to us only, except for the fact that it's kept open the trade for them with us, which they have to have. So that's all favorable to us way more than the other side. We've seen it as a trade deficit's gone down, GDP's risen, inflation has gone down. All that's been happening on Trump's watch and not helping any of these other countries. So Trump is not what he used to be in the past, where he's looking to bail out everybody, let everybody get rich off us. So that's different. So a bailout, it won't be like Obama's bailout. It won't even be like the COVID bailouts, especially the one Biden passed as he came in 2021. As far as failures go, I only see really one way Trump can navigate this to clean out the Wall Street corruption, and that is to let failures happen. Our financial system is such a mess. It really has to be remade from the ground up. That does not mean that he won't use some bailout money here and there to protect, say, people's 401ks or pensions, because Trump wants to, and he has this entire time. One of the reasons he moves slower than we like is because he's trying to protect the middle class and Main Street while at the same time breaking down this globalist financial system. We are in a financial war, okay? We're not in a hot war yet, and I don't know if we will get into one. But the war that's being fought right now is similar to the Cold War between Trump and the globalists. And that war is being fought mostly financially. And that's why things have been just so crazy in the markets while also being crazy politically. Okay, so that's where we're at with that. I got a few other things I want to look at, but moving forward, guys, just look for the economy in 2026 to be everything nonstop. It's going to be there because they're going to be attacking Trump before the midterms as much as possible. And Trump's also trying to rebuild and get the economy booming before the midterms as much as possible. So you have both sides going all out. So when we start seeing tax returns, when we start seeing the remanufacturing, if Trump does get a tariff-backed stimulus passed, all that's going to massively boost the economy, no matter what they do at the markets. So get ready for that. But we're already seeing stuff like Europe trying to cut off the Trump economy, America. It's really, really rising up behind the scenes. This all out, watching them try to cut off. They tried to withstand the first year, most of it, trying to feel it out, see how it went. And they really went after him after the government shut down. We all saw the PSYOP as it was going on. That actually really hurt Trump's approval numbers for a small bit. But now that he's fully recovered and is bouncing back, and people are starting to blame the Republican Senate more than Trump, which is how it always should have been. The people paying attention know that. They're starting to panic again because they've thrown everything at him and it hasn't worked. And one of the things they threw at him was that's not what I wanted to cover yet, was the Epstein stuff. But Trump is just going hardcore on this. And he posted this the other day. 1 million more pages on Epstein are found. DOJ is being forced to spend all its time on this Democrat-inspired hoax. When do they say no more and work on election fraud? That's really what Trump wants to focus on. The Dems are the ones who worked with Epstein, not the Republicans. Release all of their names, he says. So this is going to be very interesting to see if the next batch of Epstein files comes out mostly unredacted. Trump is saying, I'm done. And the fact that he's willing to put this on the fast track and just get them out without redactions tells me there's a weapon on his side, that Trump is actually ready to use the Epstein files as a weapon. No more playing defense. No more playing, he already did the rug pull on them, but this is doubling down and it's going on offense. So get ready for that. And then Massey, nobody's being more exposed in this than Massey, because he just caught in the lie, pressed about the list of Epstein names on clients list he had. He never had the list. So this is another big part of what's going on. 2025 was about setting up all the frauds to be exposed. So we've had Massey exposed, several influencers, including Candace Owens, which the Candace stuff is now just gone crazy. I mean, Alex Jones has just been going all out on Candace now, as Candace's latest thing with the whistleblower she brought on that turned out to be a total fraud, wife beater, liar. It's all blowing up in her face. So that's falling apart. And as all this keeps getting exposed, he's going to be able to start using more on the Senate, because they didn't think he'd recover from the latest downturn he had. Now that he's recovering, they're going to be able to use everything. Sorry, my stupid dogs. Sorry, guys. They're going to be able to use everything as blackmail against the Senate to start getting stuff passed, which I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Trump really push on the nuking the filibuster again, which will just allow so much to get through. And the number one thing he's focused on is fixing the elections. And we're getting more and more information about 2020, all this new information about how 2020 was rigged. And this is the kind of information that nobody's challenging anymore. This is becoming cut and dry. And we have the DOJ actually pushing this out, Trump pushing this out. And the Georgia stuff was crazy. But look we just got this. Rasmussen Reports put this whole status update about the machines. And I'm not going to read all this. You guys can, I've shared it on my X. You guys can read it. But all this has been coming out about the elections. This is a huge post, so much more. So you see how the setup is happening. Okay. More and more. Again, we have silver and all the market stuff coming to a head. If the market's correct, Trump bounces back the economy and we fix the elections, the midterms won't just be a win. They'll be a gain. And we will gain and just break historical trends and go running into 27 and 28, which will lead to, obviously, Vance, who they are attacking more and more. Here's another post from this hardcore Dem guy, PhD, whatever. But J.D. Vance is even worse and more dangerous than Donald Trump. This has been trending on X. Just because all of us on the MAGA side are laughing. We know Vance is coming. We know he's going to be amazing. And the more they attack him, the more we support him. The more we want to, the more we know he's a huge, massive threat to them. And I really believe Trump is doing all this hard work on the scenes. He's willing to be the bad guy so he can set up Vance to move us into the new era, which I actually think is starting on the second half of this year as the economy starts turning around. I think that's going to be the beginning of this new era that Trump's been building up, laying a foundation for as he purges the old. The purging still will continue. It's got a lot to go, but the corner has been turned and we're in that shift. 2026 is going to determine how fast we get there. And if we get there, I will say I feel very confident we will. I'm really not worried about it, but this is the year that if we don't start that turn, if they are able to defeat us, say they kill Trump or kill Vance or kill both, say they are able to totally destroy the economy in a way that Trump can't fix in the next couple of years, if we lose the midterms with a bad economy. I mean, there's lots of huge what ifs that are worst case scenarios that could happen. I don't believe any of them will happen. I believe we're actually tracking in the right direction. But again, it's going to look bad at some points before it turns around, just like the huge psyop that just happened in Trump after the government shut down those elections in Jersey and Virginia. We're going to have moments like that where things look bleak and we're going to have to see through it. We're going to have to go through more psyops like the Candace Owens crap and the trying to destroy TPUSA, the neocon faction of the Republicans fighting the MAGA faction. We're going to have to go through more of this. Don't get me wrong. It's going to look gross sometimes, but just like we survived all that and are now back on an upswing, that will happen again. I fully believe that. And if it does, we keep trending in that direction, we're going to be just fine and better than fine. We're going to be heading into the real good stuff. And this trend is just kind of happening everywhere. Trump just signed an executive order revoking Chris Krebs' security clearance and now is investigating Krebs. Krebs is a guy who said he was in charge of all this and was like, this is the most secure election ever in 2020. Well, you go after him, you get all his stuff. That's going to be more evidence. If Trump is able to prove 2020 was rigged here really soon, that's going to wake up another 5-10% of Americans, which is massive. And it's going to force the Senate and the House to pass election reform. They will have no way to avoid it if they prove this. And it sure looks like it's heading in that direction. But, it's interesting Trump did this over the holidays because this would have been a massive media story, and he timed it perfect. Trump, man, he just doesn't stop working. He does not stop working. But Krebs was ahead of CISA, weaponized his position, conspired with the FBI and big tech to censor truth, evidence, proof, and testimony about 2020 election, and designated November 3rd as the most secure election in American history. But documents obtained by investigative journalist Yehuda Miller through Freedom of Info for FOIA. A secret meeting organized on Election Day, November 3rd, by the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency involving Dominion officials and the FBI to discuss the overthrow of the U.S. government with private companies and Democrat groups. And this is crazy. This is just getting crazier and crazier. So, and on top of that, we have this just coming out. I mean, Kash Patel says they're shutting down the Hoover building. You guys remember when, everybody was like, shut down the FBI, take it down. Kash Patel had even said similar comments before getting in. And then he got in and then they were talking about a new building. And everybody's like, what the heck? What is happening? We're supposed to be dismantling the FBI or completely reforming it, not upgrading it. And now they couldn't get it done. And they're shutting down the FBI building completely. And now they've scrapped that plan and they're moving into a different building. I don't know. I just think there's more stuff going on than meets the eye with the FBI, guys. Stuff behind the scenes that they just can't announce publicly, because this is symbolic that they're shutting down the Hoover building. That's J. Edgar Hoover. His name's on that building. He started the secret police, and now that building is no more. And all that money that was going into a new building is gone, and instead they're moving it into the Reagan building. I don't know. I just have a feeling that there's way more to this story than we're going to know for a long time. But all the stuff people were freaking out about has just been thrown away, and it came out of nowhere. How many times have we seen this where we get upset with what the Trump administration says in the moment because it doesn't seem like it's what they promised us or what we were expecting, and then later it turns out to be fine? Epstein, maybe with the FBI where it's trending. I mean, again, we haven't even had Trump in a year, and think of how far we've come despite what we still want. Another major thing going on right now is this Somalian thing, this scheme. Well, this, by the way, Kash wrote that the FBI was already investigating this before it came out publicly. So that should be encouraging. But this is massive. And this is going to keep spreading, because now we're starting to look at, that was Minnesota, where like this $9 billion went and all this fraud keeps getting exposed from the Somalians. But this is going to spread with more and more immigrants and illegal immigrants getting looked at. California we're starting to look at them. This is going to, if this goes the way it should, if this is seen from the beginning now, which is the exposure, to fruition, which would be justice, this will completely reform the immigration system and give us more reasons to get them out faster. It will also reform the welfare system. So again, all of this is happening heading into 2026. All of this will benefit the economy. Less government spending, more money available in the economy for citizens with the immigrants gone. So I'm extremely excited. This next week, I'm going to be spending a lot of time thinking and praying about what's coming this next year. And on New Year's Day, I'm going to do a live show where I gather my best thoughts and predictions for the next year. And I've had the last 2 years very accurately pegged. I'm hoping I can do the same with 2026. But again, I will be doing that on New Year's Day. And we'll also have a fun live New Year's Eve. But yeah, I want to start just looking ahead and putting all this together, because we can see there are seeds. There are a lot of seeds of stuff happening. And if these seeds are allowed to sprout, amazing, amazing things can happen. Moody says, get rid of the symbols like Hoover Building. Amen. Formerly Donna, what's going on? Good afternoon to you. CA Human, what's up? Vince, seen a video saying banks overnight pulling money from. Yeah, that was the money pulled from the Fed. What's up, Jerry? And then finally, the last thing I wanted to talk about today is that we're starting to get the grand jury started in Florida. Remember I told you guys that I thought one of the reasons Pam Bondi had been chosen was because of her ability to, and her experience with the Florida justice system. Because that's where, because they went into Mar-a-Lago, we could start getting the grand juries that could actually get justice versus the corrupt Washington, D.C. courts. It's happening. Grand jury impaneled in Florida, January 12, 2026, Crossfire Hurricane, CIA Five Eyes operation. The raid on Mar-a-Lago is under scrutiny. Here it is. I mean, this is exciting stuff. All of this in the first year. So pretty crazy stuff, guys. I'm getting excited. Again, we'll need to keep an eye on silver this week, see where this heads. The markets, when they open on Friday, they'll open tomorrow, and it could get interesting, but I do think they're going to try to prop them up through the end of the year. We'll see how long they're able to do that. We'll see if silver continues rising like this, because if it does, major market instability ahead. Bear asks, where would you sell physical silver when the squeeze happens? Great question. I don't know. I'm not a commodities trader. I don't have physical assets like that, so I don't have the experience. But I would just look and see what you can do. I would look at every opportunity. Maybe you have some local places where you can bring it in, but or maybe you can sell it and do like a mail-in system. I don't know. Bear, I'm sorry I don't have that answer for you. I've never done it. So you'll have to look into that yourself. If you're holding physical silver, here's the deal though. I will tell you, unless you really need the cash right now, silver, if we're finally breaking the hold on these assets that they've had for so long, if the paper trades are finally going away, if they're finally liquidating and shoring all this up, so there's actually a match between physical and paper. If that's actually finally happening, silver is nowhere near done. And silver could be worth a lot more even in 2 to 5 years than it is now. So this is something to watch very carefully and see how it plays out, especially if you're holding it. But I will tell you, if you bought physical silver like $20-$30, I don't think you're ever going back down there. I really don't. Unless there's just a huge economic crash, which I just don't think is coming. I think markets will see that. I don't think we're going to see it Main Street crash. So Moody says, sell it at the same place I bought it, registered agent, Royal Canadian Mint. So yeah, there might be an option for that here in the US as well, Bear. That's close to you. So I'd look at that. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me today. I know it's kind of a short live. I just wanted to reconnect with you guys, tell you where we're at, where I'm seeing things, bring up some of the biggest stories, the momentum I'm seeing, just really interesting stuff going on. But I will be back on tomorrow night, Monday night, and this week will be more like a regular schedule. So Christmas is over. And anyways, I just hope you guys had a blessed Christmas. Love you guys. Appreciate you. So go on and feel free to go watch football or whatever you're going to do the rest of the day. And this week, I'll also have some shows geared upon New Year's stuff, predictions. We're going to have some fun with it this week. So if you subscribe, I appreciate it. If you want to support the show, please head into the description right there. Click the link to Patreon, get a free month of membership. And after that, decide if you want to stick around. So love you guys. Appreciate you. And just have a great rest of your day. See you all tomorrow night. Good night.